deactivate the poor mindset and activate the rich mindset. A Stoic transformation. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. This profound and often challenging observation by Seneca, one of the great Roman Stoic philosophers, cuts directly to the core of what it truly means to be rich. For the Stoics, genuine wealth was never, ever measured by external possessions, by the size of one's bank account, the grandeur of one's home, the prestige of one's social standing, or the latest fashionable acquisition. These external things were, at best, what they called indifferents, items that hold no inherent good or evil within themselves. At worst, they were seen as insidious chains that bind us to endless craving, paralyzing anxiety, and profound dissatisfaction. The Stoics fundamentally believed that true, enduring richness resides not in what one has in the external world, but in what one is internally, a mind meticulously cultivated in virtue, reason, and an unshakable sense of contentment. Deactivating the poor mindset and activating the rich mindset is, in fact, the very essence of Stoic practice and the path to genuine human flourishing. The insidious nature of the poor mindset, a life of internal scarcity. Let's first dissect what the Stoics understood as the poor mindset. This isn't about economic status, but an internal state. This mindset, regardless of one's material possessions, leads to a life of profound inner poverty, perpetually marked by anxiety, envy, insatiable craving, and a nagging sense of perpetual lack. It is characterized by several key deficiencies: external dependence and the illusion of control. The hallmark of the poor mindset is the deep-seated, often unconscious, belief that happiness, security, worth, or peace comes from things entirely outside oneself. This could be money, social status, the approval of others, constant pleasure, or the complete absence of pain and inconvenience. This reliance on externals makes an individual perpetually vulnerable. When the market crashes, their security shatters. When approval is withheld, their worth crumbles. When pain arrives, their happiness vanishes. This mindset is constantly striving to control the uncontrollable, leading to inevitable frustration and suffering. The individual becomes a leaf blown by every external gust of wind, never truly rooted in their own being. They constantly look outside themselves for validation, for comfort, for completion, only to find that these external sources are fickle and unreliable. Insatiable desire and the pursuit of more. A fundamental characteristic of the poor mindset is an unending, ceaseless craving for more. This isn't about healthy ambition or striving for improvement. It's about a deep-seated dissatisfaction with the present and a relentless belief that happiness resides just beyond the next acquisition, the next promotion, or the next relationship. Even when desires are met, the satisfaction is fleeting, immediately replaced by a new desire, a new need. Seneca famously observed, "The greatest wealth is to live content with little." The poor mindset is never content, never satisfied. It is a bottomless pit of longing, always looking ahead to a supposed future happiness that perpetually eludes its grasp. It is like trying to quench thirst with salt water. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. Fear of loss and the grip of attachment. The poor mindset is characterized by an anxious and often irrational attachment to possessions, relationships, health, and reputation. This attachment generates constant worry about their inevitable impermanence. Because one's happiness is derived from these external things, the thought of losing them, through death, change, or misfortune, becomes a source of immense fear and anxiety. This person builds a life around accumulation and holding on, forgetting that everything external is loaned to us by fortune and will eventually be reclaimed. The fear of tomorrow eclipses the joy of today. The victim mentality and abdication of responsibility. When one believes their happiness is externally determined, it naturally follows that external factors are also to blame for unhappiness. The poor mindset often adopts a victim mentality, blaming circumstances, other people, or fate for their misfortunes. This abdication of responsibility for one's own judgments and reactions is deeply disempowering. It traps the individual in a cycle of grievance and complaint, robbing them of the agency to change their internal state and, by extension, their experience of life. They see themselves as passengers rather than pilots of their own minds. Reactive living and the absence of inner calm. Ultimately, the poor mindset is one of reactive living. The individual is constantly tossed about by transient emotions and external stimuli rather than acting from a place of reasoned choice and calm deliberation. An insult provokes immediate anger, a setback triggers despair, a pleasure leads to excessive indulgence. This constant reactivity prevents the cultivation of inner peace and rational judgment, leading to a fragmented, chaotic inner life. There's no steady rudder, only a ship buffeted by every wave. Activating the rich mindset, building the inner fortress of abundance. The rich mindset, from a Stoic perspective, is built upon the bedrock of virtue, reason, and profound self-sufficiency. It is a mind that possesses true wealth because it understands and controls the only thing that can be controlled: its own judgments, its own desires, and its own actions. Activating this mindset is the lifelong work of the Stoic, transforming inner scarcity into genuine abundance. Here's how to meticulously cultivate and activate this truly rich mindset. Embrace the dichotomy of control, the foundational shift. This is the ultimate, non-negotiable starting point for Stoic richness. It's not just a concept to understand, it's a principle to internalize and live by daily. You must rigorously distinguish between what is within your power, your thoughts, judgments, intentions, actions, character, and what is not: external events, other people's opinions, your body's health, your possessions, the past, the future. The rich mindset directs all of its mental and emotional capital solely to the former, knowing that true freedom and peace reside only there. When you genuinely stop trying to control the uncontrollable, an immense reservoir of mental energy and tranquility is immediately liberated. It's like dropping a heavy burden you didn't even realize you were carrying. Practical application. Begin each day by setting the intention to focus only on what is within your control. Throughout the day, when anxiety or frustration arises, pause. Ask yourself, is this truly within my control? If the answer is no, consciously release it. Redirect that mental energy to something you can act on: your attitude, your effort, your response. For example, you can't control traffic, but you can control your reaction to it. You can't control how a colleague speaks to you, but you can control how you interpret and respond to their words. Cultivate contentment. Autarkeia, the wealth of sufficiency. True wealth, the Stoic argues, is not having a lot, but wanting little. It's a state of autarkeia, or self-sufficiency. The rich mindset finds profound abundance and sufficiency, rather than perpetually seeking more. This isn't about resignation or settling for less. It's about a profound liberation from the endless, exhausting cycle of desire. When you are content with what you have, you are rich beyond measure, regardless of material possessions. You become immune to the dictates of consumerism and societal expectations. Practical application. Engage in voluntary discomfort regularly. This is a powerful, counterintuitive Stoic practice. Occasionally choose to eat a simple meal when you could have a lavish one, take a cold shower, wear plain clothing, or walk instead of taking transport. The purpose is not self-punishment, but to remind your mind that your genuine well-being isn't tied to luxuries. This practice builds mental resilience and makes you less disturbed when genuine hardships or inconveniences arise. Also, regularly practice negative visualization, as discussed in previous responses, to appreciate what you do have by contemplating its potential loss. Master your impressions. Prohairesis, the inner fortress. The rich mindset profoundly understands that emotions arise not from external events themselves, but from our judgments about those events. When an impression, a thought, an image, a feeling arises, particularly a negative one, the Stoic pauses. This is your moment of absolute power. Ask, is this impression true? Is it rational? Is it within my control to change the external event it refers to? Withhold your assent, your agreement, or approval from irrational, fear-based, or unvirtuous impressions. This conscious filtering prevents the passion from taking root and blossoming into full-blown emotional distress. Practical application. Whenever you feel a surge of anger, fear, or anxiety, immediately say to yourself or mentally, "This is just an impression and not at all what it appears to be." Then reframe it rationally. For instance, if you feel insulted, tell yourself, "Their words are external, not within my control. My character is not diminished by their opinion, unless I allow it to be." Invest in virtue, the unshakable assets. For the Stoic, the only true imperishable wealth is your character, your virtue. These are the assets that grow with use and cannot be stolen, taxed, lost in a market crash, or diminished by illness, old age, or death. They are always within your control and are the ultimate source of a life well lived. Cultivate wisdom, the ability to discern what is truly good and bad, and to choose rationally. Courage, the fortitude to act rightly in the face of fear, difficulty, or pain. Justice, fairness, kindness, and integrity in all your dealings with others. Temperance, self, mastery, moderation, and control over your desires and impulses. Practical application. Before acting or reacting in any situation, ask yourself, what would a wise, courageous, just, and temperate person do here? Strive to embody these virtues in every single interaction, decision, and moment. This daily striving builds your inner wealth brick by brick. Embrace amor fati, love of fate, the ultimate acceptance. The rich mindset accepts everything that happens as part of the grand design of nature. This is not passive resignation, but an active, even joyful, acceptance of reality. The Stoic understands that while we don't control external events, we always control our response to them. This principle transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth and practice, allowing us to find peace even amidst profound challenge. Practical application. When something unexpected or undesirable happens, instead of complaining or resisting, try to mentally say, "This is what is happening. This is what nature has presented. How can I make the best of it? What virtue can I practice here?" See every challenge as fuel for the fire of your character. Deactivating the poor mindset is a rigorous and continuous process of shedding false beliefs, breaking unhealthy attachments, and challenging irrational fears. Activating the rich mindset is the ongoing construction of an inner fortress of reason, virtue, and self-sufficiency. It is a daily, conscious, and deliberate effort to align your internal world with truth and rational principles, knowing that this is the only path to genuine, enduring wealth, a wealth of peace, freedom, purpose, and an unshakable spirit. This is the ultimate human flourishing, available to all, regardless of external circumstance.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you.